there's need to balance between the two. While proposing amendments to estimates, members should critically assess the broader impact of these decisions. Certain expenditure allocations are counterpart funding for critical projects, and reduction of such allocations may result in unintended adverse consequences, including loss of development funding for public projects. On the aspect of resourcing the counties, I would like to urge us to ensure that we are not the ones who would contribute less resources being allocated to the counties due to the failure by the Public Accounts Committee to examine the current accounts on time. The budget policy statement, which sets the ceilings for allocations of resources to the ministries, departments, and agencies of the national government, will be presented by 15th February 2026. I therefore encourage the PAC does endeavor to conclude its examination of the Auditor General's latest report before the PBS is considered by this House. On security, I am pleased to inform that the Integrated Security Management System, ISMS, has been installed and the project is almost complete. The components of the system installed so far have significantly enhanced safety within the parliamentary precincts. In addition, the training of members' bodyguards, as agreed in our retreat in 2025, has been done and will continue subject to availability of resources. And I urge even you members who bear firearms to undertake refresher firearm security training to ensure both their safety and the safety of those around you. Honorable members, this retreat also places a strong emphasis on institutional reforms, members' welfare, and post-service transition. I am pleased to report continued progress in the entrenchment of the post-service medical scheme to members of Parliament. The rules and guidelines of the scheme have been promulgated. In addition, the Board of Trustees has approved by the House, and the board members have been fully inducted into office, and Honorable T.J. Kajwang is the chair of the Board of Trustees. I am pleased to note that the scheme, being largely contributory, is now fully operational, with all members making their monthly contributions, and this is a major achievement in safeguarding members' welfare beyond active service. Members, any of you who may not be contributing, please do contribute. We've made it compulsory for your sake, because we know what it means when you go out there and you have nowhere to turn. The sessions on pensions, members' facilities, security, and transition planning reflect our recognition that public service must be dignified both during and after tenure. We are not strangers to the fact that political attrition is an unavoidable reality, and the resultant consequence of that is exit from Parliament, which comes with diminished earnings. Yesterday, I was chairing a committee on pensions, and an actuarial report shows that on the average, our attrition rate is 56%. So as we sit here, at least 56% will not see the inside of Parliament next Parliament. And we want to make sure that there must be life, and good life, after you leave Parliament, so that you can be covered health-wise. And to this end, I want to urge, and I've discussed this with the majority leader, we have had 4 pension amendment bills. One sponsored by the Honorable Member for Sirisia, one sponsored by the Honorable Member for Kimilili, and one by the Member for Imendi Central, and the more important one by the Member for Kitui Central, the Honorable Makali Mulu, which he actually inherited from another member. Who was the member who brought it? Mwadime, the current governor of Taita Taveta. I have painstakingly gone through this bill with the Honorable Makali Mulu, the Pensions Committee, actuarial advice, management of Parliament, and the Treasury representation. We have cleaned it up. It, in my opinion, and my opinion is always a good opinion, it is a very good bill for you. It is going to resurrect the fortunes of people like Wanjala, who served Parliament, left, and came back. We have members out there like the Honorable Jimmy Ngwenyi, the Honorable Wamunyinyi, who served Parliament for 2 terms, left and came back and served another 2 terms, and the current law does not recognize one of the 2 terms. So they only get pension for 2 terms. This bill now harmonizes this. This bill respects the term you have served in Parliament, and Sunguli is one of those who served, left, and came back. It will be able to help all the cumulative period you have been in Parliament mean something to your pension. So I want to encourage you. Jane Kihara is also one of those who came, left, and came again. We want to encourage you to give it priority for the simple reason that this bill that touches on your welfare, if you leave it towards elections, it will become an electoral issue against you. So the sooner you pass it, the better. And I want to encourage Ichungwa and your team to put it on the front burner. And you get to Parliament and pass it and wait to benefit from the process. I want to encourage you to give a round of applause to members who serve with me, Dan Wanyama, Honorable Kashove, and Honorable Ariko. Can you stand to be acknowledged? Those are the members of the Pensions Committee, and of course Honorable Makali Mulu, who has been a constructive member of the committee. And I assure you members, last night we sat with these members from 4 to 9:30 to clean up this bill for you. So the job is now in your court. Honorable members, as was alluded to by the leaders of majority and minority parties during the 4th session, the House passed several critical laws to strengthen governance, protect our economy, and respond to emerging national challenges. Members will recall that during the last session, Section 6 of the Kenya Roads Board Act and Section 47 of the Kenya Roads Act, which underpin the financing and classification of roads across the country, were invalidated by the courts. Apart from appealing the decision as a House, we did pass the Kenya Roads Amendment Bill 2025, sponsored by the House Legislative Caucus to address the issue. The bill was forwarded to the Senate on 21st October 2025 and is awaiting consideration. You all agree with me that the importance of the bill to the financing of road infrastructure cannot be gainsaid. I would urge that all of us utilize our good offices to ensure the prioritization and passage of this bill. Members will also recall that Parliament enacted the Conflict of Interest Act 2025. In sections 31 and 34 of the law, we obligated all state and public